You must be the descendant of Queen Nefertari to have fooled me thus. It's like, what? He just punked you. That's all it is. Welcome back, dear listener, to Seeker and Confessor, a Sword of Truth podcast, and we're diving in today, finally, to chapter 37, not 36.
You're not going to say our names? That's your favorite part.
I'm your host, Frank.
And I'm Lauren.
Wow, you're going to roast me. And today we'll be discussing Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind.
Chapter 37.
Hey, look at this luscious hair. I'm relieved, too, because Zedd's back, baby.
Zedd's been back,
but he's back. He's back in a big way.
You're back to embodying that. So wait, when you were wearing the wig before, you had it backwards?
Yeah, I did. I had it on backwards. That's why you could see the wig. But now you can just see luscious Rizzler locks.
Yeah. There is a reason specific to the chapter that Frank is deciding to look like Zedd today. Something's going to happen. Something really magical is going to happen to Zedd as we go through chapter 37.
Not yet. Don't spoil them.
I'm not. I'm just setting them up to be ready for the exciting
you're
occurrence.
Right. He's going to get an addition.
Something so, and you know what? It's almost the only thing that happens this chapter.
There's a lot of yapping, but yeah, pretty much.
This is pretty much it. It's the piece de resistance of chapter 37 is going to happen live here today.
It's a short one, but we got some stuff to say. I think we can.
We'll see.
You know how we do.
We'll see. I am apologizing that we have been putting out episodes that are under an hour and a half.
I know.
Which
unexpected of us.
Yeah, because for a while there we were going hot and heavy on
2+
on the
Easy.
2-hour episodes. And we're not opposed to it when it works, but sometimes we're filming late. We got to eat.
Yeah.
It can't be 2 hours. But when it can be 2 hours, it's a good time.
It frequently is, too.
I'm just super relieved no matter what chapter 37 holds for us. I am relieved to not be in chapter 36. But what did we think about chapter 37?
You know, not much happened. I kind of liked it, though.
Really?
A little bit, you know.
I didn't.
Yeah. I
guess there's maybe I have some compliments.
Yeah. But, it's more lore dumping.
Did it need its whole own chapter?
No, but it's,
No.
No. Well, no.
No. So that's that. But anyway, we're going to pick it apart as we do. Okay, something just totally random that these random sort of truth tidbits I like putting at the beginning of the episode.
Gimme your tidbits.
On Reddit, somebody posted, I think if my editing skills are up to par, I'll be putting them here.
This is not Lumholtz's nipples again, is it?
No,
oh
no,
my God,
no.
The Duchess.
Maybe I should, though.
How it makes me sweat. All right, keep going.
Also, by the way, we were wrong. He does write fan fiction.
Excellent.
And I'm pretty sure it's even on AO3, but regardless, you just didn't find it.
Okay.
But that gives me hope that maybe there is Kaylin Shota fanfic that you also didn't find. So anyway, on Reddit, somebody posted, I showed them to you. Hopefully, they'll be here.
Wow.
The Japanese covers of the books, which are actually gorge.
Fire.
Beautiful. Proof, number one, that it would make a really good anime. That the only way you could ever translate these characters, I think, in any satisfying narrative fashion would be via anime.
You want that. Interesting.
I think they look very cool. And it actually makes me upset because it really drives home for me something that I do already know, which is that there's something in here that if someone came by and just could mold it all, a real editing genius, some
sort of wordsmith, some sort of
master of storytelling could take the fun elements. It would be like a Fire series, potentially.
I agree.
It doesn't exist, that version of it. This is the platonic ideal of the Sword of Truth. Yeah. But like the Japanese book covers are so pretty and make the characters and the world look so interesting that I'm like, this is what it could be.
So in your mind, there's a Berserk version of this.
Yeah.
That could be.
Okay. No. That's
okay. All right.
There's a what's a good example? Not Berserk.
Like a Star Wars version of this?
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Like a better expandable universe that has
I'm not
like
going to give it Berserk level potential. No.
But, I want to know. I want to know what you're saying.
I think it could have fun. Like, just, there's a fun, like, only the good stuff version of this that exists. And if I saw those covers of the Japanese versions, I would assume it's gonna be that, and then I'd be disappointed because it's not.
So that's why I'm so happy I didn't see those before I read it.
Yeah,
I'm actually listen, for all the shit we say.
Yeah,
I'm really happy that this version of the book exists.
I guess you're right.
It's given us at least 2 years worth of things to talk about. So.
Exceptionally readable, despite all the frustration and insanity.
The problems, the holes.
Like there's no chance I'm gonna finish it and go, like, there are bad books that I finish and then I go, like, I really, like, it almost feels painful to imagine myself reading the next one because I'm so fucking ready to be done. I actually do not feel that way.
No.
I'm like, I know I'm gonna finish it and be like, well, I really do want to read the next one. So there is something to it that I feel that way. I have tons of issues with it. It could be a million times better. so much of it makes no sense, but I still feel that. I feel the pull that I want to read the next one.
There's something to that then.
There's
a magic to the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, there's so many bad book series that they're just as bad and I don't want to keep going.
Are they just as bad?
No, maybe they're even better and I still don't want to keep going.
See,
so what's that about?
That's something.
What is that?
It's because you want to know the truth.
I don't think so. But that's interesting. What's that quality, right? Like, there's bad book series that are probably less bad, and still, I'm like, get me out of the game.
Yeah, I don't know. What could it be? Is it the? It's not the prose. Is it?
No, what is it? I don't know. There is something about it that's like a brain tickler.
Is it the fact that we're trying to tackle truth, or is it the fact that it's so obviously one man's interpretation of such a big concept? And he commits with his whole chest.
Maybe it's that. I don't know.
And you're just like, I need to know what you think.
Could be. That's probably a part of it. I'm not sure. I think that's interesting and bizarre that I feel that way through it all. And it is what it is. But yeah. It sounds like a lot of you lover haters also feel that way. You feel the pull, but you also...
But you see the cigars, you see the...
Yeah.
The little Charlings out there are aware of the flaws, but they love it anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll get into chapter 37 then. So last time we were here, Richard did his watch. He talked to Zedd. Zedd did his watch. Kaelin came. He talked to Kaelin.
Yep.
Kaelin was on watch. And now we're just waking up the next morning.
That's
okay.
It. Yep.
So Richard wakes up. Kaelin has made a fire for breakfast, and there's some pretty nature writing in this part that I liked.
Yep. Always good.
He does always make the food sound good. Richard makes tava root porridge with berries on top.
Yep.
I don't know what a tava root is. Never eaten one. I want to eat it, though. I imagine it tastes like...
Sweet potato.
I was going to say ube.
Yeah, it's like ube.
Oh my God.
Definitely.
Yes, same.
But it's like a white, maybe a little starchier.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Starchier white ube. That's literally what I keep imagining it tastes like.
He got it across. I don't think he once described the flavor.
He never said that, but I just know that's what it tastes like.
That's pretty wild. I just wrote next to tava root porridge, world building.
Does that count?
It definitely counts. It's not real.
Well, he does give us fake plants.
He does.
He gives us fake...
Yeah.
Fake vegetation is something he builds with.
Wayward Pines and Tava Root. Guys, this is Lord of the Rings, basically.
You would think that he'd be more into nature magic.
Yeah, you would think.
Really incorporating. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, wizards are all about natural magic. We'll get into that one. Yeah.
Kaylin mentions she heard a creature kill something when she was on watch, and then Richard like plays dumb and acts like he doesn't know what she's talking about. I don't really know why he's keeping this a secret from her. It was never really...
so many of those things, it's like, Richard must tell them this. Richard would never tell them this. And it's like, I feel like you're just picking.
I don't know why this one she can't know.
I can't let her know about the eyes I saw out in the dark.
She could be on watch by herself, and she doesn't need that information. She'll be okay.
It feels like it's maybe really good for Terry if he doesn't tell Kaylin about something stalking them in the night.
For whatever reason. Kaylin tells Richard to wake Zedd up, and then Richard wants to be funny guy, so he's like, hey, watch this. And he takes his spoon and his bowl, and he, like, taps it, and then Zedd wakes up. What does he say?
Breakfast?
Oh. Yeah.
Wow. That was good.
Hilarious.
That was good.
Yeah, so once again, you know, Zedd has an eating disorder, and
yeah,
so
he's got like 6 magical tapeworms. Like that's what's going on with Zedd. So, did you catch that like little domestic moment between Richard and Kaylin?
Oh my God, no. I mean, yes, but I didn't write anything
She's
down.
like, I picked berries. And
yeah,
like they're putting it all together,
playing
and
house.
then Richard's just like, huh? More powerful than a queen, huh?
Does he think that, or
yeah,
that?
he like thinks it in his head.
More powerful than a queen.
And she's here picking berries.
He so gets off on
He does
this.
get off on it. He's really just like, and I command her.
He thinks it all. It comes up a lot in his thoughts, and
this book doesn't say it ever, because this should be the wizard's first rule. What? People love power dynamics. That is the wizard's first rule.
We made wizard's half rule was femdom is real.
Femdom is real. Yep.
Wizard's first rule after that is people love power dynamics, which feeds really well into the half rule. So you can see there's a thematic through line here.
Unlike people are stupid.
Exactly.
But yeah.
So
people are stupid could be rule 8.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but Richard loves this whole idea.
Yeah.
He's all about it.
Look at her serving me. What a queen.
So they're eating.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. I can't like this chapter because what's about to go down, I just fundamentally have a huge issue with.
Well, I'm excited to hear your issues.
Do you have issues with it?
Yeah, we'll see.
Are you serious?
We'll see. I don't know like what perspective you're coming at it from. I'll develop my feelings in the moment, probably.
Okay.
You know?
Well, Richard says to Zedd, Kaylin told me you made her tell you about Shota. Again, very, like, gossipy third grader vibes.
Yep.
Well, she told me that she told you... Okay. So, Kaylin told me that you made her tell you about Shota. So, Zedd and Kaylin, like, look at each other like... and she's like, they're the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
And so...
Zedd's like, I thought you didn't want him to know.
Yeah, he's like, why on earth would you tell him that? And Kaylin's like, you big fat liar. I didn't tell him, so you must have told him.
And then Richard's sitting there like, eating his porridge, not looking up. It's
yeah,
she didn't tell me, but you just did.
Yeah, so he played a real fast one on them.
Not just a fast one.
No, far more than that.
A fast one with magical might. Woo!
Yeah, so, okay, Richard's like, I guess he had his little suspicions. He decides to play dumb and be like, I already know. You know, what they do literally in every interrogation ever.
Yep. Classic trick.
The most classic trick of all time.
Yep.
Zedd and Kaylin are like, oh my God. And then Richard hits him with Wizard's first rule. First step to believing something is wanting to believe it is true or being afraid it is. So Dude
just slam dunked his whole life. But actually, because as we find out, you can't just do that, apparently.
Right, so that's the thing. It's like, you'd be like, oh, okay, interesting. So, like, Richard is kind of, he's on our, at first you'd be like, he's on our side. Like, the last episode when we were like, oh, this is, like, kind of a silly rule, and it's not that deep, and, like, anybody could do it, and it's not a secret.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You'd think that's where we're going. It's not, though. We're going to double down.
Here's the thing. I kind of... So while you hate this, I love this, because it's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. We have followed the rabbit into the rabbit hole. We are now entering Wonderland, where like the dumbest rules apply, and that's what's happening. It's like actually, there's the Midlands, the entire world here is built around these stupid fucking premises that if you like lie to someone and they believe you, you're a god. And I'm like, all right.
Okay, but I think I said that in one of the other episodes. I was like, everything kind of hinges on, in this world, like, psychology doesn't exist, and being able to be aware of psychological concepts and utilizing them means, like, you are using magic. And it's like, no, you're not.
It's like it's a realm of hyper literal.
Right, they can't do that. So if you figure that out,
it's like the third body problem, where they can't not tell the truth, but like they can't even conceive of psychology
they can't
and
conceive of
manipulation and
you being aware of how psychology functions. Psychology is functioning, but you should not be able to like articulate it or
here's my problem.
Weaponize it, yeah.
And this idea is interesting if you did like what they did. So like in the third body problem, you created
body problem.
What did I say? Three? Oh, third planet from the sun. I don't know. In the three body problem, you commit now to the concept of like these beings are alien from us. They have different brains.
No, they're just people.
These are just humans, and like Zedd would have to be so weird. They would all have to be so weird for me to buy this. And then I'd be like, that could kind of be interesting if you wrote a book where everyone's so weird.
Yeah, no shit.
These people are like way too normal, and then like a little weird, and then a little childish.
There's no consistency. That they're not human beings.
They're just regular people. That
they're existing with their brains functioning in some fundamentally different matrix of reality.
No, he's trying to imply this is what real people are like.
Correct. That's why I have a problem. Yeah. So I have a problem.
Oh yeah, but here's the thing. I'm here for the shit show. So like,
of course.
No, I'm swimming in it. I'm like, give me the gabagool. Like this is chaos mode.
Okay, that just sounds like you hate it just as much as me, but you love
I hate it more than you.
But you're like, I love to hate it.
I love to hate it.
Okay, that's different, but yes.
You're filling up my gas tank. My gun's loaded.
Okay. So anyway, right, so Richard pulls the little, like, Kaylin told me. They're like, oh my god. And then he's like, fooled you because you were afraid of me finding out. So I used Wizard's First Rule. Okay. Richard thought about it and was like, I guess during the night, like, oh, you know what? I probably should tell Zedd what Shota said because I need to save the world.
Of course.
And he was like, but you know what? Since he's a wizard, honestly, this man's not going to bed without
until he figures this shit out.
So he's probably interrogating Kaylin. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Richard could absolutely have thought that through. It's not crazy.
Yep.
And then Kaylin thinks this is hilarious. She's laughing.
She's laying there giggling.
Yeah, she's just giggling.
She's it's schoolgirl hours right now.
Zedd says, Bags, Richard, do you have any idea what you've just done? And then Richard says, Richard kind of like seems to know where he's going with this. Like, I don't know. Richard just says, magic. I guess. Yeah. A trick if done properly.
I'm with him. Magic, I guess.
He doesn't actually say I guess, but that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
A trick if done properly is magic, or so I've been told. Okay. So Zedd says, I feel like you should say all this.
You've just tricked a wizard with his own rule. None of my other wizards have managed to do that. Wow, none? Not even Giller? These guys suicided to do one spell, so maybe Zedd didn't have the best magicians available, but listen.
Not magician. Okay, so fascinating. So this, I feel we were questioning this, right? So we questioned when we were really getting into the nitty gritty of the Wizard's First Rule, coming to very few conclusions, but thinking about it, we were like, this seems really douchey if it only applies to other people and not Zedd and co, right? Yes. And then we were like, oh, but maybe we're being so harsh. Like, maybe that is the point of it. Like, it applies to everyone, right? Like, yes. And you're like, okay, I see it. I see it if we're like, that's true of everybody, including us. But no, the Wizard's First Rule actually just doesn't apply to Zedd. It doesn't apply to Zedd. It requires magic for Zedd to be stupid. That's crazy how that works.
Can we talk for a moment about This feels like a cult leader's logic, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, this feels like someone is just blatantly making things up to prove that they're not dumb. Actually, you must be the descendant of Queen Nefertari to have fooled me such. Thus, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what? He just punked you. That's all it is. It's nothing. It happens.
Unfalsifiable claim, essentially.
Absolutely. But Kayla's just like, this is how wizards work.
Yeah, it's an unfalsifiable claim to say everybody else is dumb.
Yep.
Not me.
Not me.
These are the wizards' rule because, like, we don't fall for them, but everybody else does. Just we're built different. We don't fall for it. Oh my god, did I fall for it? That doesn't count. That means actually you're in the cult now, and you also can't be tricked. And then if someone does trick you, they also are so smart they come into the cult.
It does.
Wow,
so here's the thing. It doesn't make any sense. But if you want to build this system of like the less trickable you are, the more likely you are to be a better wizard. That might be true, but like this is too hard and fast and weird.
Not that.
Yeah. So then, all right. So it feels like a cult. Kind of is. It's a cult of douchebags. If Zedd can't be stupid,
he can't be,
because anyone that is smarter than him or tricks him becomes a wizard.
So, but like that, the argument here is like Zedd is like, I am the smartest man in the world.
Yeah, and we're just supposed to go like, that's true, he's the wizard.
So yeah, again, all those times that he was being like a little douche.
Yeah, he was right.
He was just right, right? I mean,
that's all that means.
My dude can't be wrong.
So here's another question. So Richard is the Seeker. So I imagine if anyone would have these powers,
I know it would be the Seeker.
It would be the Seeker. He's the kind of guy that could maybe get wizards like this. So why isn't Zedd? I understand because in the future Richard is a wizard and becomes a war wizard or whatever we're gonna do. But why wouldn't you just be like, the Seekers are special and they can punk anybody? Because that's like literally their whole point is to be able to like get to the bottom of these things.
Shouldn't it be like this nice little triangle check system of like wizards, confessors, seekers, and then
you got rock, paper, scissors rules right there. Because
at this point, since it's like the Seeker shouldn't be able to fool the wizard, and also Zedd can just compel Kaelin to do whatever the fuck he wants. At this point, wizards seem like OP.
Yeah. Well, that's why they ruled in Eidendrill for a millennia. Who knows?
Oh, who knows?
So Richard could be a wizard of the First Order. That's how good this prank was.
Yeah, well, he says, bags, Richard. You have it. You have the gift, my boy. You could be a wizard of the First Order, like me. Richard says, I don't want to be a wizard. He says, you have passed the first test.
Wow. Didn't even know.
Richard's like, how were there other wizards if they didn't pass the first test? And then he explains they weren't wizards of the First Order.
Of course. Closest
thing we've ever gotten is Giller in the Second Order. But
he made really good toast. That made him the Second Order. But he never punked Zedd.
This is the highest test of being the most powerful wizard. That is the least intuitive thing I've ever experienced in
we get to it. There's hundreds of other tests too.
Oh yeah,
so this is the first and most important one. Can you punk me?
But like I said, okay, when I'm making a joke, but I'm like, oh, this is just really, really standard interrogation techniques. So in this world, I guess Zedd. Again, because Zedd is self-aware about psychology.
Yeah.
Although, to even use that trick in the first place, you would have to know it.
Of course.
Right? Just nobody do this. And then you're telling... So Zedd just literally goes through the world. He's like, I've never been unaware of anything. I've never believed something I shouldn't have. I just, nobody could tell me a thing. I've just never been lied to. I just, never have.
It falls down for a million reasons. But the number one being, well, okay, Zedd, are you maybe under more duress right now because of this current set of circumstances than you ever have in your life?
Uh-huh.
Are you more likely to get tricked when you're stressed out?
No.
No, that's not real. Horner's Mill, they sucked and deserved it. Those are idiots. Eating my berry compote with the fate of the world on my hands, fell for one little trick. That actually makes you a genius.
Yeah, no, because, that's, it would be embarrassing if Zedd just made a mistake.
Impossible.
So there's
what are we doing? Like, what are we saying?
Because honestly, people? At this point, all I'm taking away is that I'm just like, oh, once again, Zedd cannot possibly take accountability. Zedd can't have made a mistake.
Zero.
Zedd
it's built into the rules, actually.
Yeah, Zedd literally can't have done those things. So once again, he's like, ooh, I made a mistake. That would be embarrassing. Just kidding. You are so special, and that's the only reason why, because you have like literally magic powers that make me stupid. It wasn't me. That's what I'm hearing. I know that's literally not what the text is saying.
That's kind of what it's saying, though.
It's not, though. The text really thinks I should just be like, Zedd was like rizzing a while back, so I really like him. So now I don't want to give up that image of him being awesome, and therefore I'm going to go along with it.
You have no choice. It's the rules. It's the law of nature. Yeah.
Jerry's just being like, well, you thought he's a cool wizard. He's so cool. He kissed Caitlin's hand that one time. He's
right about everything.
He's funny. He eats things. You guys don't want to dislike him. So this is definitely right.
Oh my God.
And no, I just think he seems like a psycho at this point.
He definitely does.
That's my
And that's interesting. If you were just leaning into it and being like, Zedd's kind of crazy. The magic makes your mind go nutty. I don't know. I'd be into it.
100% not happening.
No.
He's like asking about like, oh my God, why are the other wizards didn't pass this test? And he says they didn't have the gift, only the calling. Girl, I don't care about the difference. Like, what? It doesn't matter. So then, honestly, I'm like Team Richard this whole fucking conversation. He's like, but
also that's annoying because of course you are.
What?
Like, it's the thing that he keeps doing, where someone's always so right, super right.
Who's super right?
Richard.
No, he's not. He's not right. He's wrong. Richard's literally wrong.
Textually?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm on his side, but I'm not supposed to be.
I guess I am too, then. Yeah, I guess that's what that means.
What do you mean?
I'm on his side, too, and I just don't care what the book's trying to say.
The book is not. We're supposed to empathize with Richard and be like, yeah, if I were him, I wouldn't think I should be a wizard either, because I'm just a normal guy.
This is his resistant Harry Potter moment.
Yeah, no, I know.
And I've it's in my notes here. We'll get to it, but I have the hero's journey bullet points.
Okay.
And we'll talk about where Richard is, and it literally is like he just was like check. Check. Okay, he has to fight the power that's coming. Okay, check.
I mean, honestly, him even referring to Joseph Campbell is like maybe sort of impressive.
Yeah, but like so did Star Wars. So here we are.
Well, that's why I compared it to Star Wars. Yeah. That's why that was the level at which I thought it could accomplish being at. Richard's like, it was just a trick. Don't make something out of it wasn't based. And Zedd says a very special trick, because if it wasn't a special trick, then I'm stupid, so it was special. Richard says, how many tests are there to like be a wizard of the First Order? A few hundred or so. Wow.
But he's almost done.
You have the gift. You must learn to control it, or... Oh, no, what? Or what?
Or what?
Wizards hate it. This one little trick. This one cheap trick, wizards hate it. It's enough that Zedd is actually to the point where he's like, it's not even like a question. He's like, it's true.
Yeah.
That was it. It's so fucking on. And you might even accidentally be like blowing things up soon because of how on it is. Richard again says he wants nothing to do with magic. It was just a trick. He says it again. And then Zedd says, no small trick if done on a wizard. All those other idiots, not impressive. On me, though, someone who's read the Wizard's First Rule, it's the combo of having read the Wizard's First Rule and being a wizard that makes it that, like, his brain just can't get tricked.
And, like, if you made Zedd super weird, or you gave him some sort of, like, intellect fortress where you're just like,
I know,
so purely good at deducing and like not being ever misled.
Like it's like Professor X level.
Yes,
like,
exactly, where you're just like, I can read your mind, I know what you're doing.
No, for
and if
sure.
Zedd was more like that, which he could have been,
yeah,
you could have written him that way.
Then we just make like the big this big pivot where Zedd just says, "Can you command the wind?" So we know that This is from a prophecy that Zedd read that he mentioned to Kaylin during their conversation, and Richard was not there. He doesn't know about this, right? So that means nothing to him.
No.
And is really weird for Zedd to
I
just...
wish it meant nothing to us. I wish they hadn't mentioned it before, but I wish that a lot.
I don't think I wish that.
It could have been a fun little breadcrumb.
Maybe.
If he went like, "There's a prophecy about you," and then like didn't elaborate.
I don't know. I don't know if either one. I think it's a really weird time for him to just start
control the wind,
yelling that at him.
You would know if he could.
I would think
you would know. You just talk to him about stuff. He would be like, "I don't know. Since you left, all weird things have been happening. I've been like pulling the weather. Can you change form? Can you teleport?" Can you make ice come from your fingertips, Richard?
Richard's on his little sarcasm train here. Of course I can. He holds both hands up to the sky. Come to me, brother wind. Blow a gale for me. He spreads his arms dramatically. So he's being... Oh, what a little...
Brother wind and
Sister Spider. I know.
That's it.
He's in his pagan era. So yeah, he's being sarcastic.
Brother Wind is so weird.
It is weird. It is strange. Come to me, Brother Wind. Whatever. So then Kaylin and Zedd kind of like take it seriously and they're like...
Kaylin's like, shit, is
yeah, they're
wind?
like...
She like picks up her cloak.
Yeah, she's looking around and nothing happens. No. Then they look disappointed. And then Richard asks what's wrong with them. And he's like, what the fuck's going on with you guys? Why are you acting like this? What does that mean? And then Zedd just says to Kaylin, he must learn that later. Like, what? Yeah, he must.
It's Monty Python-esque.
I know.
Isn't
yes,
it?
I actually was like, this is like funny if it's not serious. Like,
yeah.
Is he being a little humorous? I think maybe it's a joke. Zedd saying, like, he must learn that later. That's very, like, fourth wall jokestery.
I don't think it. Yeah, I think it's Terry writing a fourth wall joke using his characters, but like sacrificing reality for it.
Yeah, I guess
that's what I think's happening.
It's just it is a little funny. It's
funny.
I don't really know if I'm supposed to think it's funny. Yeah, that is a prophecy. No, Richard still has not. He doesn't know how to do that yet. We'll find out. I wonder, you think the bird whistle is related to that? Probably not. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I keep trying to think. I'm like, how is that coming into play?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then I'm like, wind, bird. I don't know.
Huh.
Probably.
He's gonna like call seagulls to steal the boxes from Dark and Raw at a critical moment, just like JoJo.
I don't know that reference.
I do.
So Kaylin tells Richard it's rare to be offered to become a wizard, which like. Yes, and also I think we made that really clear when we said there literally is no other person in this role other than Zedd. As Zedd goes off and bags, I wish I had the books here with me now. I'd bet a dragon's tooth they have something to say about this.
Everyone's so fucking dumb in this world.
Why?
Because there's like 8 wizards, and you have to be one, you have to kind of like punk somebody. And it's like, they're not even, the common man is not even close to smart enough to show any level of cleverness.
It's weird because you're kind of like, your version of like what a smart person is so not smart that it calls into question where our starting point is. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point, actually. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna need better smart person representation for me to take you seriously. Zedd wishes he had like the wizard starter books here with him. Like, he's trying to get him going right now. But then he trails off very ominously. He says, but then there is the matter of the pain and ... which, like, again, it's just so stupid. It's just so like, okay, yeah, you just wanted to tell us something. Obviously, Zedd, who's trying to convince him to become a wizard. I mean, he should tell him that. Not that Zedd has a great track record, but that's a weird way to have, like, just accidentally brought it up. Okay, here we go.
Do I kind of look like The Witcher a little bit? The black shirt.
Maybe. Yeah, a little.
Not like the second one.
You're the third.
I'm Geralt of...
No, like, Henry Cavill left, and then they got that other boy in there, and then he left, and they were like, Frank!
Let's go the 80s route. Give him the big mustache. And
this'll work. So, alright, here we go. Mm-hmm. Richard says, hey, what kind of wizard are you anyway? You don't even have a beard. Again, this feels very, like, fourth wall breaking as well. Doesn't it feel like it's, like, supposed to be, like, a joke Terry's making on the audience's behalf?
This is so weird. weird.
Everything about it is weird.
He goes on for so long.
I know, but okay, before we get into it, do you get what I'm saying? Like, him being like, he must learn that later, kind of feels like a joke to the audience.
Yeah.
But I feel like saying like, oh, the wizard in this book doesn't have a beard also kind of feels like we're doing a wink to the audience of like, hey, did you guys think that when you came across my cool, interesting wizard who I didn't give a beard to? That's what that feels like to me.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, it feels Terry making a fun poke at, like, wasn't it crazy I didn't give him a beard?
Yeah, I mean, you stole Gollum wholesale, so it's crazy that you made Gandalf beardless, I guess.
He wants credit for how clever that was and how much he subverted expectations.
Literally not at all.
He thinks he did. He seems to think, oh, you guys are like, he probably sat down and was like, what does Zedd look like? And then he was like, I'm not gonna give him a beard. And now he wants to talk about it, okay? That's what it is.
Are we ever going to sit down and be like, I made the villain beautiful? I just can't for the life of me get it.
What do you not get? It is a stereotype. I understand.
No, I get that. I'm saying I don't get why Richard talked about it for as long as he did.
Well, that's
it's nuts. Like what Terry wrote here is nuts.
Yeah, okay.
It's like 4 straight paragraphs of him being like, you know, you're supposed to have a beard. Everybody knows. This dude didn't even believe dragons exist. Why does he have a pure concept?
Trust me, I know. So he says, what kind of wizard are you anyway? You don't even have a beard. And Zedd says, what? So, okay, already we're like, okay, so they're not sharing the same image of a wizard, I guess, which I'm confused by.
Yes.
I'm confused. A beard.
In this world, Zedd is the archetypal wizard.
I don't know. I mean, let me get there.
Okay, go.
A beard. Where's your beard? I've been wondering about it ever since I found out you were a wizard. Wizards are supposed to have beards, you know. Zedd says... You say it.
Who told you this?
Well, I don't know. Everybody knows it. Wizards are supposed to have beards. It's common knowledge. I'm surprised you don't know it.
But I hate beards. They itch.
Seems you don't know as much as you think you do about being a wizard.
That's such a weird thing to say!
If you don't even know wizards are supposed to have beards. Okay, what is this? So, okay.
I don't know what it is at all.
Richard is clearly drawing on the same thing Terry wants the audience to feel, which is that we have some sort of collective sense of an archetypal wizard in stories that have beards, right?
Yes.
Richard can't be saying anything other than
that's what he's saying.
That's the only thing he's saying.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. If that's
true, Zedd would not be confused by where Richard's getting this from. Why is he Zedd, and it's not, we can't even say, oh my god, it's the Midlands, Westlands. No. Zedd lived with him as like a little boy. Like, he has lived there in the Westlands so long. So if Richard has some concept of wizards in stories with beards, Zedd would be highly aware that exists, and he would be like, haha, that's just something from the stories, young boy, you can't take them seriously. Instead, he acts like he has no clue what he's talking about.
You're absolutely right. This breaks at every level. It breaks at every single level. When Richard was a young boy, did he have any concept of wizards? This claims he does.
Yeah.
If he has a concept of wizards, why does he not know about the Midlands at all? Within his lifetime, people lived there and they came here.
That's its own problem.
So now the stories in the Westlands should be very up to date on what wizards are like.
Well, either the stories in the Westlands should be precisely what wizards are like, in which case Richard wouldn't have the beard concept online, although Giller had a beard. But anyway,
second order.
And then if the stories have been like, you know, I don't know, just gone through, I don't know, if we're just relying on like, oh, they have similar stories to us and they're not based in reality, they're just like storybook like elements, fine, but like Zedd would just know that.
Zedd would know it.
Yeah.
Zedd being confused here makes no sense, other than Zedd personally doesn't like them.
Right.
He could say, I know what you're saying, but I hate beards.
Exactly.
And that solves that. Richard saying shows how much you know about being a wizard is insane.
And then, but why is it saying, who told you this? So that means you're totally not understanding where he picked this up from.
This level of flippancy would only make sense if Richard wasn't entirely bought into the fact that Zedd was a wizard at this point.
How?
But he watched him melt a gar with fire, so he knows he can do magic. He knows he's a wizard. I think
he's just trying to piss him off.
But why?
Because he's pissed off since, like, trying to guilt him into being a wizard. He's feeling peer pressured right now.
So he's attacking back by evoking wizard stereotypes on him, which for some reason Zedd is unaware of.
I'm like, hello, if you'd pay attention to anything, if you move to the Westlands as a wizard, you'd definitely, ears would perk up anytime you hear them talking about wizards, fake or not, false or not. You'd like internalize what they think wizards are.
They have not lived there long enough to have a different concept of what wizards are. There are people that were still alive.
I think
it's like being the bridge to New Jersey shut down, and New Yorkers start saying people in New Jersey have green skin, and then you'd be like, "I lived there for 30 years. I know they don't." It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you were just supposed to be so. Like, you know how, like, a lot of movies, and, like, right now a very popular form of humor is just references, where it's like, well, I said a thing that you know.
This is Marvel-esque.
Yeah, like, you're just gonna laugh because you heard words you're aware of, which I literally hate this sense of humor. I don't get it. Doesn't work for me. But yeah, it's like so much of humor just relies on, like, or like Family Guy. It's like, I just, it's not even a joke on the thing. I just referred to the thing. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that it's funny, and I think this is supposed to be that, so you're not supposed to think about it, you're just supposed to laugh because you go, yeah, I think a wizard should have a beard too.
Weird that he doesn't have one. Wow, Richard's being kind of a dick.
That's it.
And that's funny.
That's as deep as I think it's supposed, like, you were supposed to be so tickled by the fact that you share this opinion that you shouldn't have thought about how it actually fits into the
I'm starting to subscribe to the Wizard's first rule now.
Literally, the Wizard's first rule is... The Wizard's second rule is most stupid humans think hearing a thing they know is funny.
Is funny.
That's my rule. Femdom is real. People like power dynamics. Stupid people think references are funny without any further joke being needed. And you become very powerful when you know that, actually.
Especially that Femdom is real.
What's the name of the guy that does Family Guy?
Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane knew the third rule, and he really went to town on it and made $1 billion. So
he did, and we can't fault him for that. Yeah,
maybe I shouldn't have shared it here, my $1 million idea. So,
no.
Anyway,
you're good. You're good.
So yeah, I just was like, I did not understand this part. I don't get it. It wasn't funny. It makes no sense for the characters or the plot. Okay, so here we go. Zedd says,
"A beard isn't."
Oh my god! Wow!
Satisfied boy?
Oh boy, I am! Good golly gosh.
So itchy.
How did you do that?
Believe it or not, magic. Additive magic.
Additive magic!
Ba-dum-bum. Get ready for school, boy.
Here we go!
Yep. Will this do, my boy?
And Richard's mouth is hanging open. He's looking over like...
He cast a fireball. Beards are not that cool. All right, keep going.
He's looking over like... And then he nods.
Like, you had him provoking him so he can get shocked by beard growth? It's so stupid. Give me your knife.
No, I want you to say, good, now give me your knife so I can shave this thing off. It itches like ants.
Good? Now, give me your knife so I can shave this thing off. It itches like ants.
Oh, you're making Zedd way too, like, cool.
Yeah, sorry.
In a way that
it itches like ants.
Give me more food.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, no, I don't give that to you. Give it back.
Not yet. All right.
So, my knife? What do you need my knife for? Why don't you just make it disappear like it appeared?
This is Richard's racial arc. Like, he is suddenly, like, 14 years old.
Bro. What?
You're shocked he grew it, and then you're like, do more magic. You didn't do enough magic yet. I'm unimpressed, wizard. Like, for real.
Yeah, he was like,
why don't you just magic everything in the world at all times, huh?
Oh my god.
Just be dark and raw right now. Or you're not the best wizard I ever saw. You're just a loser old man.
The negging to amazement cycle
is
really
just rapid.
Out of control. Oh my god.
He's that strongman test at the fair that you hit with the hammer. He's like, whoa.
Yeah.
For a visual metaphor, thank you. For those who didn't understand what we were trying to get across there. It was too complicated. You're all a bunch of idiots as per Wizard's first rule.
We're just following the rule. Oh my god,
course
you guys.
we are.
Guys, you can't blame us. So, my knife, what do you need my knife for? Just make it disappear like it appeared. Why would you ever say that? You might be like, oh, okay. Oh, you can't get rid of it with magic? Interesting. How'd that, I don't know, anything.
No.
Kaylin
hits him with another giggle.
And Kaylin laughs at him, laughs in his face. She says,
he doesn't understand magic one bit, this fool.
He thinks you can get rid of your beard. Yeah, he's like, we're all like,
imbecile.
Literally. No, honestly, speaking of negging, Zedd and Kaylin go on a negging spree here.
Nuts. They go nuts.
To like guilt Richard into having to be a wizard, I guess.
Yeah. I look crazy right now.
So yeah, she laughs. She's like, and then Richard looks at her and she's like,
oh.
And then Zedd says, which I guess this is him like punishing Richard for being sarcastic a second ago. He goes, it doesn't work that way. Everyone knows it doesn't work that way. Doesn't, and then he says to Kaylin, doesn't everyone know? Tell him. Whoa.
What the fuck?
Okay, first of all,
so
Richard,
what didn't you like about this? Like, I'm having a great time. This is dumb as hell.
This is so stupid.
Rub his dumb little nose in it.
Oh my god. Like,
he doesn't know about beard magic.
Richard, I don't know why he said what he said, to be fair. I can't even decide whose side I'd be on there. But yeah, this is stupid because you're like, if you guys, he didn't live here. If Kaylin and you didn't tell him, how could he know that?
You've run into this exact problem 100 times.
There's no way.
Nope.
So, magic can only do things that use what is there. It cannot undo things that have happened. I don't understand. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know what you don't understand.
So it can add, but it cannot bring it back.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a long echo.
The first lesson, should you ever decide to become a wizard, the three of us, which is Richard, Kaylin, and Zedd, have magic. Additive magic. Uses what is there and adds to it, or uses it somehow. Okay.
So, yeah, that feels okay. All right. Sure.
Okay. So yeah, additive magic. We can either take an existing thing and amplify it,
or change
it into a different state. It's not super crazy or illogical or anything. I'm like, fine.
The additive part makes perfect sense. The change it is really nebulous.
That is nebulous. I agree. But it's mostly fine.
Yeah.
So he uses examples. Kaylin uses a spark of love, no matter how small. It's questionable.
Yeah, whatever. Except in certain gar species.
And adds to it, and yeah, they can't love until it's changed to something else. Something else, that's something for else. Sure.
Yeah.
The sword uses your anger and adds to it and takes power from it until it becomes something else. I was like, does it become something else? So far, I feel like it's just become more anger. But I guess it's going to
when he turns that thing white, who knows?
It's going to do more later. He says, I do the same thing. Zedd, I can use whatever in nature to change things. I can change a bug to a flower.
That's not adding.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
that's nuts. You can turn a bug into a flower? And nothing subtractive happened there?
I know, because he's...
Where did its soul go?
He's like being like, no, I can't, if I got rid of the beard or whatever, like, where... Well, no, he does a very specific example that is suspiciously parallel to old John, but anyhow...
I wrote that!
It's the third time it's happened.
What was the other one?
Oh, I said that... What did I compare it to?
Summer's Day.
Old John, yeah. What did I say? Oh, I think it was... It wasn't. It was the guy crushing the box of Orden. I said reminded me of Old John.
Well, okay. All right. So that's 3 now. That's interesting.
The third time we did a... I don't know. They're all kind of different. Whatever. Yeah, so I don't know. Zedd can fix broken bones and take heat from the air and multiply it into wizard's fire. Like, that made sense. I think that's kind of like a cool mechanic.
So distinctly cannot make ice, though?
Can he take the... Well, no, I would assume he could. He must be able to take the cold from the air and make it into ice,
technically, right? Cold is not a thing. It's just a lack of heat. I don't know if physics work the same way in this universe, though. I don't freaking know. But I guess you could pull the heat somewhere else, and then that would make that thing cold.
Right.
So, yeah. But that's the creativity. We'll get into that.
So, yeah, a rock as big as his fist. Again, it's just, I don't know. There's something going on here. Raised into the air. I can lift something. I can change it. And then the rock is crushed to dust.
I can fight. Yeah.
But that was very Calthrop of him.
It was. And old John was looking for Zedd. I wrote that the similarities are starting to make me feel like I'm in a fugue state. Like, I'm just like, what's happening? Like,
what? So was I supposed to now reflect back and be like, oh my god, the Calthrop had additive magic? That's why he did that. I don't know. What did that... No, because he didn't even...
Didn't he, like, crunch it in his mouth?
No, you keep saying that. He crunched it in his fist.
Maybe it was the snap and the snarl.
He crushed it in his fist.
Whatever. So that's 3 fist crushes. Or, no.
No, because this one technically...
levitated
this one, he didn't crush it in his fist, but they went out of their way to say the rock was as big as his fist.
Weird.
Right? So it's kind of weird.
What's happening? I don't know.
He likes fisting.
That's the pain.
Oh
Richard's not ready for the Temple of the Butthole.
Okay. So yeah,
I'll never not get a good laugh out of you for that one.
Okay, so he lifts his fist-sized rock into the air and he says, you don't even want to know where that's going to go. And so, anyway, he crushes it to dust. Richard says, then you can do anything. I mean, you can do a lot, but that's...
A lot.
So he just said that so Zedd could say, no, I can't. Here's what I can't do and explain the other part of that. So, okay, Richard's not here, actually. Richard's MIA. Yeah. He's gone. Mm-hmm. And we just have a bot here for Zedd's explanation. I mean, that's how I'm handling it at this point, is that when this stuff starts happening, I'm like, oh, that's not the character.
Kaylin got yoinked out of the story and replaced with educational bot K.
Correct. Precisely. I'm like, Richard's no longer present.
They accidentally imported negging bot R for the last part, and now educational bot R is sitting here.
Yeah, he's not here. I don't know where he's at, honestly, but it's not here. So, Zedd says, no, I can crush the rock, but not make it vanish. Where would it go? But that's the question. If I change a flower into a bug, or vice versa, something must... Are you trying to claim that,
everything you need for a flower is in a bug?
Down to the atoms?
Then again, he changed fear into a monster.
So true.
That way, that power alone is really making me pause and be like, what can we do? What we can do what with fear?
I know, because it's like, okay, fine, I'll buy kind of the energy of the fear you could take and reform and do that. But there definitely is things that have to be added now and lost on a physical level.
Yeah.
So the same way you said right now is questioning well, if I got rid of it, where would it go? I am also questioning that when you're making these changes.
No, these are equivalent exchanges.
Perhaps
according
they are.
to Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah.
That's what I'm... Yeah. Is that what they're saying?
No!
Well
if anything, he's adding to it. So he's pulling from nowhere and making things grow.
Well, maybe that's why you could turn a flower into a bug, because the bug's more complex than the flower.
Was it a flower into a bug or a bug into a flower?
It is a bug into a flower.
Well, a flower's bigger than a bug, so maybe
I don't think that matters.
Maybe it does. Maybe it literally does here.
Oh my god, I don't know.
I don't know either. It doesn't make sense. All I know is that... So what do subtractive people get? The power to Thanos swipe things into dust?
It seems like that's all they can do.
I guess they could also get rid of beards.
Smaller, right? They could do that. They could just get rid of stuff. They're just the garbage men of existence.
Yeah. So you're telling me that Zedd shaves every day? The wizard on the road shaves every day to be clean shaven? Or does he do some magic to prevent the growth?
If I make things vanish, where do they go? That's called subtractive magic, the undoing of things. All magic from this world is additive magic, and then subtractive magic is from the underworld. I liked that. That's my compliment.
Sure.
I like the idea of like on Earth and like in this plane of existence where like growth and life is the focus. We're pulling off of that to just be like, I can only like create and make life and make more versus, yes, the underworld. Of course, all the energy from that would be I take and I get rid of. And yeah, like they're just two opposing forces. I kind of think that's nice. I like it. I think it's simple, but like...
Really makes me wonder like what the underworld is then.
Who knows?
Because there's a lot of death happening right here that's not down there. But
that's coming
it's
from,
their magic
it's of
coming
their,
up.
It's of them.
Cool.
So he specifies that Dark and Raw basically is like just as strong as Zedd. Anything Zedd can do with additive magic, Dark and Raw also is capable of, but Dark and Raw is also really good at subtractive magic. Okay. Richard asks, is additive or subtractive more powerful? At this point, it would sound to me like, well, maybe not. I was going to say additive would be more powerful, but not necessarily, because you're just wiping everyone with the other. Maybe that's whatever.
They're equal.
So Zedd says they're counters and they're literally all part of the same thing. Like it's impossible to say one is stronger than the other. Also, I like that. And the magic of Orden
is both
of them, which I keep being like, what? But what's Orden?
Who's Orden?
What is Orden? What do you mean? Where did it come from?
Just part of nature.
For it to be like, I want a little info on who did this.
How many years ago you think they did it? There's no world building. You'll never get an answer.
So you basically have to be a master of both additive and subtractive magic to open the box of Orden. And nobody was really worried about it because nobody could do that until Dark and Raw.
That's a good answer. I would have liked this answer in the beginning.
You mean you didn't like it when the answer was they actually just like all thought it was a big joke and they didn't think it was real?
No, I didn't like that. No.
You like this?
I like knowing why they thought it was a big joke, because no one could even like open these things at all, even the most powerful wizards. Then it's like, all right, yeah, that does sound kind of silly. What? Maybe it's superstition that we're all pretending.
I don't know. They feel like completely different concerns.
They are completely
One
different
is
concerns.
Like, I don't think this box has magic no matter what. I think it's just like a silly little gemstone artifact. And the other is, it actually does have tons of powerful magic. I just don't believe a person exists who could use it. They're not the same concern.
No, you would definitely be more concerned with that.
Yeah. Whatever. I could get into it. Like, honestly, I don't even, it kind of could make, both could be true, right?
Yeah,
some people could think one, some could think the other. It doesn't matter. Richard asks how Dark and Raw got subtractive magic, and Zedd says he does not know, but it concerns him that he has it.
Yep.
And then the next thing Richard says is, well, I still think we're getting worked up over nothing. All I did was a little trick. I think we're off of that topic by now. Why is he still talking about this? Haven't we moved on?
I guess not. Terry inserted this whole convo in the middle of Richard's two thoughts.
I don't think we're on that topic anymore.
That whole thing was so jarring from the beard conversation on that I was like, whatever happens, happens.
I just was like, what? What does this even have to do with that?
I don't know. But,
and there's just something so funny about it on the tail of like, yes, actually the big bad guy we're going after might end the world. He has the rarest combo of magic that anyone could ever have. And then Richard's response is, oh, well,
whatever.
I still think that my thing also like isn't that bad. I don't want to be a wizard. Like, you have nothing to say about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Zedd gives him a serious glare. If done on a normal person, if done on a normie, not a Chad like me, not a genius Chad like Zedekazul Zorander, okay? It would have been, as you say, if done on them. But I'm a wizard. I know how the wizard's rules work. You would not have been able to do this to me, except with magic of your own. Okay? He's having a tantrum.
I'm simply too smart and too cool.
It's kind of funny because I really like you could play this like in either direction. Like we could be very serious of like how Terry wants it to be, where he's like, you would not have been able to do this to me except with magic of your own. Yep. Or how I'm reading it, which is like Zedd spiraling out.
Got me too, 100%.
Like, this couldn't have happened unless you have magic. Yeah. I have taught many to be wizards. I have had to teach them to do what you have done.
Like how to think creatively,
how to
lie. Yeah. What are we talking? What did you have to teach?
Nobody else has creatively lied. If the argument is that no one's capable of doing that, therefore they must be taught, or is the idea that everyone's capable of doing that, I just wouldn't get tricked because I'm a wizard, right? Because if it's that one, then what are you teaching them? No matter what, you shouldn't get tricked, right? Isn't that the claim?
I think he's claiming that there's a way to teach people how
to trick a wizard of the first order?
Yeah. It's like how to get better at tricking. Buy my cheap course and I'll tell you how to fool anyone.
I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. They could not do it without learning it first. Once in a great while, one is born with the gift. I was one such as this, Richard. You have the gift too. Sooner or later, you'll have to learn to control it. So actually, we are like they are acting like it's a concrete thing. It's not. It's a really nebulous concept.
It's asking you to accept that this is real in this world.
It's not. It's not.
This is real here. He's got additive magic because he's
when I read it, I should not be able to be like, I could have come up with that without being taught. Like, don't you want to read the book and feel like when the person they're like,
is
you have
special.
The gift. I'm like, yeah, wow, that really is something.
Yeah, read a book and it's like, how did you just climb that ladder? You haven't learned the 12 rings yet.
Exactly, like you're just.
I just put one foot in front of the other. Not since the ancient days has one such as you come.
Like, this feels weird because like I've done that.
Yeah,
like this feels so strange. I've done that.
9 out of 10 high schoolers could do this.
Okay, yeah, wow. They're like, yeah.
Maybe we're just filled with wizards of the first order here.
Right.
Maybe we're just jam-packed with smarties.
So, maybe the Midlands has a uniquely low IQ.
See, this is the thing. The red apples poison them, but they didn't know that the berries drop in the IQ.
That could be something like that.
Each berry, 1 IQ down.
So then Richard's like, okay, here, you can shave, I guess.
And he goes...
oh, no, wait, because Richard says, he's like... Yeah, you could try and shave, I guess, but, like, it's dull, because I've been digging up roots.
Oh, not a problem.
But that's subtractive magic!
No way, boy!
Do it.
What? Oh, yeah, huh. Wait, no, it's not going to be magic this time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Is that... He just shaves! Sharp as a firecracker's whistling butt. Thanks. Right.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy to be out of that. It really was itchy like ants.
So yeah, Richard's like, oh my god, but you made the knife sharp. That was subtractive. No, I used what was already...
This is just honing knowledge.
I don't know why.
That's all this is. This is just... Terry knew how honing knives worked. I just realigned the blades and it's like, shut up! Shut your fucking mouth for once, you piece of garbage. Shut up! We don't need this every 5 fucking minutes that you know something special. Get out of here. Go to hell.
Yeah, so he explains that, I don't know, he just reformed the edge
and
that made it sharper.
Wow.
Who cares?
No way. Using your whetstone? Excellent.
Okay, now everything about these oh my god.
Off a cliff.
What? Okay, we make a big pivot. I mean, like, we literally just leave off. So, how'd you do that? Oh, I just made it sharp again. Very next line. You know, Zedd, I think you're getting too obstinate in your ways.
Who's saying this?
Richard.
Why is he saying this? Did Negbot come back online?
What did Zedd do that's obstinate at this point?
I don't know.
Why did he say this?
If this line like this was in any other book, I'd be like, oh, this means they just got mind controlled by someone who's like evil.
Or I'd be like, oh, it was like a misprint. There's like paragraphs missing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I totally don't. What happened? Like, what are you talking about? What did he do? You're getting too obstinate in your ways. You need someone to take care of you. Are those even related?
And Richard's been doing this, so he keeps bringing up that Zedd needs a wife, Zedd needs a woman, Zedd needs whatever.
Yeah, you need help keeping perspective straight. What are we talking about?
I don't know. It feels like he went nuts.
You need a wife.
So
what? Why does he need a wife? What's going on? It would make sense.
Okay, so I have two thoughts. I think that him bringing this up is so that we can lead right into Addie. Because
I don't even know why we need to keep talking about Addie, though.
For a very specific reason about the foot. Because that is, like, Richard's like, I hadn't even considered I could do things like that to help people. And I think that's important. But the other thing...
this is a really weird way to get there.
That it's extremely weird, but nothing here has been normal. So here we are. The second thing that's weird is that I know that Richard at some point does learn subtractive magic.
Oh my god.
And I feel like Richard is weirdly being like, intuitively, I know you are thinking about sharpening the knife as additive, but I think he's like, there's a full circle. There's a way it could be subtractive and a way it could be additive.
Okay.
And he's like seeing both. And now he's just like,
what does that have to do with
I don't like it's like making fun of his perspective and being like you've been thinking about things in the same way for too long and like you need to like open your mind and like you're getting like rusty because you don't have a woman around. Maybe women are subtractive and men are additive. I don't know.
You're going out of control.
I'm going to Mars. I don't know.
Think any of that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So Zedd says, a wife. Richard's like, maybe you should go back and take another look at Addie. I think Richard's obsession with Zedd and Addie having sex is like borderline a little strange.
It's weird. It's weird.
Leave him alone.
Hey, adoptive grandpa, you should fuck this other woman I met once.
I really want you to fuck this lady.
Like, I keep thinking about how handsome she was.
Okay.
And I'm like, you two together would look so good.
And
yet, you tell me you didn't have sex? Tell me all about it. Come on.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you, old man. Tell me about it. Maybe you should go back and take another look at Addie. Addie? Yes. I don't know why this cracked me up. Yes. Addie, the woman with one foot. That's your first reference point. Not the witch lady. Not anything. Yet, Richard has consistently been kind of like a dick about her having one foot, too. That's all he can think about.
Yeah.
Yes, Addie, the woman with one foot.
Richard foot fetish confirmed.
Oh my god. Yeah, it really was bothering him. Yep. It was like...
I wouldn't be surprised if he had some sort of thing going on.
She didn't have 2 feet.
That's something wrong about that.
I don't like that.
Well, now she does.
Good news. Addie, the woman with one foot? Oh. I remember Addie quite well, that said. But Addie has 2 good feet, not 1.
No. Oh my god. No way.
He just dropped that.
He grew feet? He can just grow feet? No wonder Richard likes him so much.
So, I just love... Richard and Kaylin both came to their feet in a quick rush and said, what? That seems like far too explosive of a reaction for any of this. Am I wrong?
They're constantly like negging and then surprised about magic. I don't understand.
But also, like, I could understand if Addie had lost her foot while with them, right? Like, you met Addie, she had 2 feet, you went on an adventure, oh my god, she lost it, you went through the trauma of seeing her dealing with this grief, then you'd be, like, pumped to find out, but you're like, you showed up, she's been living this way, she's fine, she doesn't have a foot, who fucking cares that much?
Yeah.
You moved on, you spent actually, like, 8 hours with her total. And she didn't seem that bothered by not having a foot. She seemed okay. So, like, I don't think you'd have this level of investment in the fact that she got her foot back. You'd be like, oh, that's good news. I'm so happy for her. I wouldn't leap to my feet in amazement.
You're 2 good feet. Yeah.
What? Oh, God, calm down, you guys. Were you that upset you've been thinking about this? Fucking somebody spare a moment of thought for sit-in.
Yeah, nobody cares about that little boy.
But Addie's foot, standing ovation. So he grew a foot back. I guess I'm like...
So at that point, you can turn a bug into a flower. If you could just grow a foot from a stump of a leg.
Also...
Yeah.
Kaelin too. Zedd seemed like, we're all surprised. Is Zedd surprised he can do that? Why is Kaelin surprised he can do that? Do we not know Zedd can do things like that?
No, that's got to be known, right? That can't even be that weird. And then this man was sitting in his hut for like 30 years, not helping us sing. You know, there were people in the Westlands like breaking their legs off and shit, and he was just like, sorry.
Like, oh well. Zedd says, yes, seems it grew back quite unexpectedly. Are you sure you don't want to be a wizard? Richard says, I just want to go home and be a guide. Nothing more. Richard asks Zedd how he didn't use magic the whole time he was living in the Westlands with him.
Good question.
And Zedd says, well, there are actually some dangers and pain when you use magic. Richard asks, like, what? Only just finished with the first lesson already. He's eager for a second. Zedd says, it's like...
It's not a good transition. I don't know. I have to try.
Yeah, so he's kind of being like, ooh, look, seems like you do want to be a wizard. But it's like, no, obviously he wants to know that before he would ever decide if he wants to be a wizard. Not that you ever are forthcoming with this sort of info. And then Richard says, never mind. All I want to be is a woods guide. So Zedd starts going down the trail, and he tells Richard and Kaelin to tell him everything that's happened since he's been unconscious, and don't leave out anything, even if it seems insignificant. Don't do it.
So we fast travel this conversation, pretty much. We got a quick description of what it feels like to be in it. This would have been good characterization. Zedd being weird and being like, you had chestnuts? Like, would have been like, what? Wizards have strange brains. That would be really cute. Yeah, we don't do that.
That would have been cute. We just skip it. Yeah, but before they take off, when Zedd says that, Richard and Kaelin kind of hang back. Richard says to Kaelin, I won't tell if you don't. And then Kaelin says, I swear, not a word about what happened in the spirit house. And then Richard says he could tell from her eyes that she was telling the truth. Like...
Telling the truth?
I guess because she just told Zedd about the Shota stuff. Oh. But seemingly she was forced and magicked into that circumstance. And if he
forces her again, she'll have to do
exactly.
it. Exactly.
So she
don't lie.
But anyway.
Yeah.
You know, he can't help looking for the truth.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not gonna tell Zedd about that. I couldn't tell. I think it's probably a little bit of both, of like Kaelin just being ashamed of the spirit house moment, and not wanting Zedd to know that she almost did that, but then also just them being like, that's awkward, don't tell him.
I won't tell your grandpa about almost fucking and killing you.
Yeah,
cool.
Right.
Yeah,
they unfortunately give us absolutely no flavor text about how they would converse about, because if they're not doing AI robot conversations, they're not talking. It's one or the other. Exactly. They don't ever seem to be like talking for the sake of getting across both information and character development.
None of that. No.
Yeah, they're like on the trail. They're getting closer to Tamarang. They're seeing refugees, which are coming from towns that are getting taken over by the Westland Army.
I'm surprised he didn't even put it in quotes. That would have been something.
And I thought the way this was written was very weird because they are getting closer to Tamarang. They're on the road. They're starting to see refugees. Richard's like shielding Kaelin away from them so they don't recognize her as the Mother Confessor. Then we like...
Go into the woods?
Then we go into the woods. Then we come out of the woods. Then we're at a big rushing river with a bridge. So then they're with more refugees going over the bridge. Zedd and Richard are like keeping Kaelin between them, and then they describe that she has her hood up to again not get recognized. But it was just like this could have just been one scene. Why did we do it twice?
This entire book is double vision.
Yeah,
everything happens twice.
Okay, so you guys
at a minimum.
You were on the road, and
then you left the road. Then you came back to the road. I almost think he's doing something weird because, like I said, I have the hero's journey here. I almost think every scene he's trying to do every step to the hero's journey.
Oh, that's so weird.
Like he's fractaling the hero's journey. Like
I don't know. Like, why we're on the road, refugees hiding Kaelin. New road, which is a bridge, refugees hiding Kaelin. The end.
Just do it once.
Why would we do that?
Just do it fucking one time. It was barely interesting once. It's definitely stupid twice. I don't want to do it again. All right. Anyway, we're off of these hoes.
Yeah, not too much interesting happens in this little scene POV switch here. We pivot to Rachel and Sarah the doll. She's tucking Sarah into bed in the Wayward Pine. She's got the bread cuddled up next to her.
Yeah.
She goes outside. She's gathering sticks. She's admiring the sunset. She sees a big winged thing land up ahead, and she thinks,
no.
Must be a big bird. She finds a berry bush. She starts collecting them and eating, like gorging herself on the berries.
Must be a big bird.
I know. I'm like, why?
She lives in the Midlands.
I guess she hasn't been outside of the castle walls.
In 2 years?
Oh, right, because she knows Brophy and all that.
She knows Brophy.
And all the Yeah, she lived in the orphanage. They definitely would know about Gars.
They would know about Gars. It's so dumb. But she's probably delirious from malnutrition because she's eating berries.
And so right, it's lowering her IQ, so we can't expect much from her.
The berry IQ drop. Honestly, I could use a pint or two of blueberries right now to get through the rest of this fucking book.
The berry IQ drop.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, so she goes back to the tree. She sits with Sarah. She's eating berries, more berries, and she thinks about how she saw her hair in a reflection in like a pond, and it looked so good, the haircut Richard gave her. Then she thinks about Richard, and she misses him, and she even misses Kaylin, even though she's a big jerk.
So this whole arc weirdly feels like a really rapid coming of age.
Yeah.
And punishment. She eats the fruit.
Oh, wow.
She looks at her reflection in a dark puddle.
Yeah,
dark
she's
pond.
being very narcissistic.
She's being vain, narcissistic, lustful, maybe.
Oh, she is.
I know.
Oh, my God.
Hateful, envious. All these sorts of feelings are happening in, like, a page. So nothing, good characterization would happen, but...
I mean, a little, like, mildly. It's kind of interesting from that point, like, the arc point of view. Yeah, so then she's, like, immediately accosted by blood flies as she's getting bitten, and we all know, oh my God, Agar's outside. But I guess she's never heard of this before. She doesn't know what blood flies mean. I know, she doesn't know. She lives there. I don't know. So she runs outside of the tree, and she's hitting the flies, and then, of course, a giant Gar is standing there looking at her.
My favorite quote, though, she gets bit on the neck by the fly, and she goes... Look, Sarah, look at how that stupid fly bit me. It made blood. Letting the reader know that it is a blood fly.
Like, honestly, it's like, I didn't need that. With the second she started getting bit by flies, I extrapolated that.
There's one monster that does that, and there's 3 monsters total right now. If we're not counting Samuel.
Yeah. No, I don't think we are.
There's Gars... Snarling snaps and dragons.
So yeah, my favorite line was when she goes out and she sees the Gar, and it's like standing up with its wings open, and they're not covered in feathers but skin, and she could see big blood veins throbbing in them. Ew.
Yeah.
What a choice though to like have presented all this and then been like later on like, I'm gonna make them cute. I'm going to make them cute.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very odd. But...
I don't hate it. It's just funny. And then, so the Gar, like, swings a claw at her, and then she pees herself, and then that's the end of the chapter.
No, I think that was supposed to be more ambiguous. That you don't know if it killed her or not. She felt something warm running down her leg. I think you could have been like, oh, is that her blood? Is she dying?
No, I definitely thought it was because she was scared. She peed herself.
Well, she definitely pissed herself, yeah.
I would, so...
But I think it's supposed to give the reader a little, like, did she just die?
I know part of me thought that.
Oh, well, he failed.
But maybe...
You could be a wizard of the First Order!
You
weren't tricked by the piss test? That's Rule 64! Rule 69, you're gonna love that one. Okay, so I think that looking at the hero's journey chart, there's enough on here that maybe this could be its own little thing.
Frank wants a mini-sode.
So I'm gonna write up a little thing, a little mini-sode request where we go through Joseph Campbell's 12-step hero program and see how Richard falls.
Okay, so if you guys are interested in that, we might do a mini episode on an off week going through the hero's journey, and we're going to talk about the very perhaps literal ways in which Terry chose to make use of it.
Yeah. I had one other question for you, if you could help me here. So, Penis Raw.
Yeah.
Cursed all the red fruit in the Midlands, right?
With his zip file, yes.
With his zip file. Right, that happened, and everyone knows about it, right? Because they don't eat red fruit because it kills kids now.
Yeah, they don't know about GARs, but they do know about that, yeah.
Why is anyone out here trusting his son?
Do they know Penis did that? Because, like, Zedd and Kaylin know that, but that could just be, like, Idendrell intel.
That was my question.
That the rest of the people...
Does everyone know that Penis Raw made the fruit poison?
If they know that,
then it's
that's
insane
disturbing.
That in 20 years they're like, his son, though, great guy.
Right, but, like, it's very possible, I think, that maybe, like, the wizards are privy to the fact that he did it. Everyone else is like, I don't know, red fruit's just poison.
Could be anything. They just became poisonous one day. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right.
Okay, that's my guess. That's what I'm going with, at least.
Fair.
Okay, so I am bringing back the fan shout-outs for the week, which, by the way, thank you to everybody, because we've been getting a lot of people reaching out, like, more than usual. I'm not sure why that is.
Keep it
DMs
coming, though.
on TikTok, DMs on Instagram.
Yep.
Like, everywhere. And honestly, more people commenting on YouTube. Everybody's popping up, and we really appreciate it. We get excited. Again, small audience.
Very. Yeah,
so hearing anybody likes it is great for us. But I am bringing back the fan shout out for a major marathon runner.
Honestly, Olympian.
I think
strength.
so. I'm pretty sure she won the gold.
I don't think anyone's made it this fast.
Her name is Shannon.
Hey.
You know, give her a soundboard.
Oh my god. Hold on.
What feels right? Oh, that's concerning.
Hold on.
We already did that
oh my
too
God.
many times this episode. Okay, all right, whatever.
Is that good?
You got all of those. Oh, all of those sounds are for you.
Wow, you deserved it, honestly.
Yeah, you do. I do think that she has gone through it. And, like, some of you guys are freaking fast, but I think she wins for going through it the quickest. And has
like
been...
sub a week or something? Like,
yeah,
close
has
to that?
been leaving incredible comments. Like...
Acute, funny.
Hilarious. Me and Frank have been cracking up. I feel bad. I, like, keep intending to be like, I need to, like, sit and reply.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a...
And I know you said I didn't have to, but I want to, so I'm probably just going to do that.
The dialogue needs to happen.
But me and Frank, every time you post with one, we've been sitting down and reading them and laughing.
She's like, we got another!
But I think that I feel like I get to watch the podcast myself via her comments. Like, her comments are another episode of the podcast on their own.
Wow.
That's how I feel. Like, I read it, I'm like, oh, maybe this is what it feels like when people watch. I keep saying, I'm like, I think she could be the third host.
Whoa. I agree.
Maybe that's crazy.
We're going to set her right here.
She's going to sit right there.
We can put a green screen on the skull.
Oh my god.
And, like, import her face in,
I
like,
think
live.
she could be, like, dead ass.
She's got great commentary, very astute. I think
very funny jokes. Shout out to you, Shannon. You
absorbed our whole body of work into yourself, and that's got to feel weird because we're weird.
I mean, it's a weird way to put it.
You know, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate the comments. Thank you for allowing me to feel like I am also a podcast watcher. Wow. And also thank you for being a fan of Frank and Julian, because...
Oh my god. I got to figure out... I have a response in my heart to that comment, and
yeah, she wrote a little bit of fanfic,
yeah,
expanding upon the Frank and Julian lore, and it was really quite beautiful. And it really, she understood.
Yeah, it's the Frulian verse. That's what we call it. Hashtag Frulian verse.
Oh,
yeah.
Frulian. I see this.
So
it could be like, what is the name of like a yo-yo brand?
Omega?
Yeah. Oh, well, it can't be the Omega verse.
Can't do Omega verse.
Oh, but it could. But it could. Lest it could.
Stop. Log out right now.
Wait, Shannon.
No.
You can Omega first. Frank and Julian.
We do not need.
And it's so funny because you have an Omega yo-yo. Oh, this is it. This is perfect. Thank you. Yes, we did it. We did it, boys. Actually, because maybe we did read ahead. And maybe next episode...
That'll be really fitting.
It's going to be so Omegaverse coded. Wow. Frankie's going to be in the Omegaverse next week. For those of you who know, I guess you need to know, you need to remember what's going to happen in the next chapter for this to make sense, and or just know what the fuck the Omegaverse is.
Don't Google it, but do. But beware.
Well...
Beware.
Frank will be absolutely ready for Julian next week.
Yeah. Will he be ready for me?
I think so.
He's in heat, so yeah.
All right, that's it. We're going to go.
Yeah, we're fucking done. Honestly, I'm going to use this to subtractive magic myself right now. Guys, love you and can't wait to see you again.
Yes, we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.